Unfortunately, it became clear very quickly that Young Dolph was going to be a star, and so Gotti waged war with him through music.
The man at the center of all of this, again, Hernandez Govan, who's facing charges for first-degree murder, conspiracy, and attempted first-degree murder in connection to the shooting death of Memphis rapper Young Dolph in November of 2021.
You know what I'm talking about? But at the same time, now he in hide mode because he can't even push that agenda. No, he can't sell no music. He can't sell himself.
He don't want to be.
Nearly 4 years after Young Dolph was murdered, shocking courtroom testimony has reignited questions about the case's biggest mystery. Where is Yo Gotti? Hernandez Govan, accused of orchestrating the hit, has seen his trial repeatedly delayed, sending ripples through Memphis and the hip-hop world.
The trial was originally set to start on March 10th. It has now been pushed back to July of 2025.
In the wake of the case development and the killing of Gotti's brother, Big Juke, Yo Gotti has noticeably scaled back his public appearances and social media activity. No charges have been filed, but the silence speaks volumes. However, the courtroom and the internet all want answers. Chapter 1. Where is Yo Gotti? Public silence and internet whispers. Yo Gotti has remained publicly silent ever since the latest courtroom twists in the Young Dolph murder case. During pre-trial hearings, Hernandez Govan, the man prosecutors accused of orchestrating the hit, stood before a Memphis judge and made statements that quickly rippled across the internet. While Govan never named Yo Gotti, his cryptic references to outside conversations and possible financial motivations sparked a firestorm of online speculation. In the aftermath, fans began asking the same question: where is Yo Gotti? Over the following weeks, the CMG boss seemed to step back from the spotlight. He skipped high-profile appearances, avoided interviews, and was noticeably absent from promotional events, even those involving his top artist, Moneybagg Yo. For someone known to dominate social media with lifestyle reels and label success stories, the silence felt off-brand and deafening. Social media fans were quick to notice. Gotti's personal Instagram, typically active with daily content, grew quiet. No stories, no new posts, no press features. His most recent upload remained unchanged as fans flooded the comments with theories and demands for answers. YouTube creators, hip-hop bloggers, and Reddit users pounced on the moment. Clips of Hernandez Govan's statements were timestamped and analyzed. Hashtags like #WhereIsYoGotti, #CMGSilence, and #DolphTrial surfaced in fan spaces, especially in Memphis, Atlanta, and other CMG strongholds. Even Gotti's close affiliates kept low profiles. His business partner and CMG co-manager, usually active during album campaigns, stayed unusually silent. Black Youngsta, known for his brash, unapologetic online persona, also refrained from weighing in. But the core of this mystery isn't about legal documents or formal charges. It's about an unusual silence. In Southern hip-hop culture, especially amid legal heat, silence often isn't just a strategy, it's a message. Some read it as protection, others see it as foreshadowing. To be clear, Yo Gotti has not been charged, named as a suspect, or referenced in any court filings tied to Young Dolph's murder. Still, the optics matter. The man who once declared, "I am Memphis," and built a brand on presence and control has gone quiet. In today's digital age, where absence sparks theories faster than facts, silence speaks. The blogs are buzzing, fan theories multiply. In the court of public opinion, Yo Gotti's silence has become its own headline, and everyone's listening. Chapter 2. Hernandez Govan's background and charges. Before his name made national headlines, Hernandez Govan was a relatively unknown figure outside of Memphis. But within law enforcement circles, Govan had been on the radar for years. A Memphis native, Govan was not initially viewed as a central figure in the high-profile murder of rapper Young Dolph. That changed dramatically in late 2022 when prosecutors unveiled a much deeper investigation. In November 2022, Govan was indicted by a grand jury on 3 serious charges: first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. According to Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy, Govan is believed to have been the mastermind who ordered the fatal shooting of Young Dolph, which occurred on November 17, 2021, outside Makeda's Homemade Cookies in South Memphis. Prosecutors allege that Govan did not personally carry out the shooting but conspired with others to execute the hit. In particular, court filings suggest that Govan played a coordinating role, arranging the details that led to the ambush. His indictment came nearly a year after Dolph's death. signaling the complexity of the investigation and the layers authorities had to unravel.
Records show 43-year-old Hernandez Govan, who was just indicted in the rap star slaying, along with Johnson and Cornelius Smith, once lived just a few houses down.
At the time of the charges, Hernandez Govan was already known in local Memphis circles as the father of Lotta Cash Desto, a rising female rapper affiliated with Lil Uzi Vert. In a separate tragedy, Desto, whose real name was Destiny Govan, was shot and killed in Houston, Texas in September 2022, just weeks before her father's indictment. While authorities in Houston have not linked her death to the Dolph case, the back-to-back nature of these violent events drew considerable public attention. Some online communities have speculated about a possible connection, though no official source has confirmed any relationship between the two crimes. Public records also reveal that law enforcement had been surveilling Govan for months prior to his arrest. During pre-trial motions, prosecutors cited cell phone data, text messages, and recorded conversations as key components of the case. While the full wiretap evidence has not been made public, the prosecution contends that these records show Govan's communications with individuals involved in the planning stages of the murder. Govan pleaded not guilty to all three charges and has been awaiting trial while out on a $90,000 bond. His bond release in early 2023 came under scrutiny from Dolph supporters and members of the Memphis community, but it was granted under strict conditions, including GPS monitoring and limitations on public activity. In court, Govan's legal team has maintained that there is no physical evidence tying him to the crime scene or proving he gave the final order. Prosecutors, on the other hand, continue to portray him as the architect of the murder, a man who operated from the shadows, orchestrating events that culminated in Dolph's death. As of now, the full evidence file remains sealed from public view, but courtroom summaries, legal motions, and selective media coverage have only deepened public interest in Govan's alleged role. While the trial is still unfolding, his name remains at the heart of a murder case that continues to shake the hip-hop community nationwide. Chapter 3: Courtroom Chaos. What Hernandez Govan really said. When Hernandez Govan appeared in court for one of his earliest major hearings, many expected a routine legal process, plea entries, procedural motions, and bond discussions. But what unfolded drew national attention and reignited online speculation about who else might be connected to the murder of Young Dolph. During a bond hearing in early 2023, Govan and his legal team argued for reduced bail, pointing to his voluntary surrender and clean pre-trial record. However, what captured the most attention was a cryptic remark reportedly made by Govan in open court. According to courtroom observers and legal bloggers, Govan hinted that others, people with influence, were also involved in the circumstances surrounding the case. He did not name anyone directly, but his choice of words fueled widespread speculation. The remark, though brief and vague, became a flashpoint. Social media spaces erupted with theories. The phrase "others with influence" became a magnet for online discourse used in YouTube breakdowns, Reddit threads, and reaction videos dissecting the case. Meanwhile, in official court filings, Govan's legal team emphasized his cooperation with authorities and personal hardships, including the tragic loss of his daughter, rapper Lotta Cash Desto, who was fatally shot in Houston just weeks before Govan's indictment. His lawyers argued that he posed no flight risk and asked the court to show compassion.
The indictment coming less than 2 months after Govan's daughter, 25-year-old Destiny Govan, an up-and-coming rapper by the name of Lotta Cash Desto, was fatally shot in Houston.
But the Shelby County District Attorney's Office pushed back firmly. Prosecutors, led by DA Steve Mulroy, cited sealed evidence and warned that releasing Govan could pose risks to public safety and potential witnesses. According to media reports, they even referenced involvement from federal agencies monitoring aspects of the case, suggesting that the investigation was broader than what had been publicly disclosed. Prosecutors argue that Govan, if released, could influence individuals allegedly tied to the conspiracy and disrupt ongoing investigations. In open court, they suggested more people could still be charged, though no names were provided, and the state has not revealed the full scope of its probe. The judge ultimately denied Govan's bond request at the time, citing the seriousness of the charges and the potential risks involved. However, the bond was eventually granted.
Hernandez Govan, one of the prime suspects in the rapper's death, is now out of jail on a $90,000 bond.
It was previously held without bond. Prosecutors and his defense came to an agreement to grant bond today with conditions.
But in the court of public opinion, Govan's brief and enigmatic comments took on a life of their own. Some fans believe believe he was signaling a deeper conspiracy. Others question whether more prominent names in Memphis's rap scene might eventually surface in connection to the case. Still, it's important to stress Govan never named any individuals, and as of now, no official connection has been established between his remarks and any high-profile figures including Yo Gotti or members of CMG. Neither the court nor Govan's defense team has released a full transcript of the remark, and no follow-up clarifications have been made. Yet the impact was undeniable. What may have been a strategic courtroom tactic turned into a digital frenzy. For those following the case, Hernandez Govan's appearance wasn't just a legal process, it opened the door to broader speculation, once prosecutors have yet to fully confirm or deny. Chapter 4: CMG Under Fire. The Internet Connects the Dots. Collective Music Group, better known as CMG, is the record label founded by Memphis rap mogul Yo Gotti. With artists like Moneybagg Yo, 42 Dugg, ESTG, Glorilla, and Black Youngsta under its umbrella, CMG has long been a dominant force in Southern hip-hop, blending street narratives with commercial success. But in the wake of Young Dolph's 2021 murder, CMG has found itself at the center of a growing internet storm. While no formal charges or legal ties have been connected CMG to the case, online speculation has been relentless. Hip-hop bloggers, YouTubers, Twitter commentators, and internet sleuths have flooded the web with theories, some grounded in history, others purely speculative. At the heart of it all is Dolph and Gotti's long-standing feud, a rivalry that began years ago and reportedly escalated after Yo Gotti allegedly tried to sign Young Dolph to CMG, only to be publicly turned down. Tensions boiled over in 2017 when Dolph's bulletproof SUV was ambushed with over 100 rounds in Charlotte, North Carolina. According to local news reports and a Charlotte-Mecklenburg police statement, Yo Gotti was briefly listed as a person of interest, largely due to the public nature of the beef. However, he was quickly cleared and no charges were filed. Black Youngsta, a CMG signee, was arrested in connection with that same shooting. He faced multiple felony courts but later had all charges dropped in 2019 due to lack of evidence. While the legal system moved on, the internet never did. After Hernandez Govan's indictment in 2022, YouTube and TikTok became breeding grounds for user-led investigations. Bloggers began analyzing old Instagram lives, dissecting rap lyrics from CMG artists, and cross-referencing names from Govan's known circle. In one viral video, a YouTuber suggested Govan had past ties with individuals loosely associated with CMG, a connection never confirmed by any official investigation. More speculation erupted when fans noticed subtle digital behavior, unfollows between key figures, silence from vocal CMG affiliates, and a noticeable pullback from the public spotlight. For a label usually loud on social media and chart-topping in visibility, the shift was loud in its silence. Still, it's crucial to be clear, no court has linked CMG, its leadership, or any of its artists to Young Dolph's murder. There have been no subpoenas issued, no charges filed, and no verified involvement of CMG in any stage of the hit, before or after. But in the court of public opinion, dots are being connected fairly or not. Past incidents, lyrical jabs, digital patterns, and Gotti's conspicuous silence have created a storyline fans are filling in themselves.
So I know CMG, I hate to say it, man. Somebody gotta add, somebody gotta go down.
Whether any of these narratives hold weight in an actual courtroom remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. CMG has become a focal point of a larger cultural conversation, one that goes far beyond music. Chapter 5: The Day Young Dolph Was Killed. How it went down. November 17, 2021. It was just afternoon when Young Dolph, born Adolph Thornton Jr., pulled into Makeda's Homemade Butter Cookies, a local black-owned shop in South Memphis he frequently promoted and supported. The bakery was more than just a snack stop for Dolph, it was a symbol of community loyalty. He had visited it many times, including just days before his death. That Wednesday, it was supposed to be a routine visit, but minutes after he arrived, a white Mercedes-Benz pulled up near the storefront. Surveillance footage later showed two masked gunmen, heavily armed, exit the vehicle and open fire with automatic weapons. They sprayed dozens of bullets through the shop's glass window, fast, deliberate, and without warning. Dolph was hit multiple times. Surveillance confirmed he didn't fire back. He died on the spot, still inside the shop, without a chance to defend himself. He was just 36 years old. Memphis and the world of hip-hop was rocked. This wasn't a random act of violence. It wasn't a robbery gone wrong. This was a daylight execution in Dolph's own city, a neighborhood he loved. The brazenness and brutality of the murder sent shockwaves through Memphis streets, the rap industry, and fans worldwide. Within hours, the Memphis Police Department released images of the shooters and the white Mercedes. The footage, taken from security cameras, showed two men wearing hoodies, face coverings, and holding assault rifles. Detectives moved fast, and so did the internet. Hip-hop bloggers and local residents started analyzing clothing, shoes, and car models, trying to identify the suspects. The white Mercedes-Benz was eventually discovered abandoned behind a vacant home in South Memphis. It turned out to be linked to a prior shooting in Covington, Tennessee, adding another layer to the investigation and suggesting this vehicle had been used for more than one hit. Weeks later, the authorities announced the arrest of Justin Johnson, known as Straight Drop, a local rapper tied to both the Memphis scene and previous run-ins with law enforcement. He was charged with first-degree murder. Soon after, Cornelius Smith was also arrested and indicted. But what stunned many came months later: the indictment of Hernandez Govan, a man not directly involved in the shooting but who prosecutors allege was the orchestrator of the hit. According to Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy, Govan was the one who allegedly solicited the murder and put the plan in motion. Court documents show that Govan was indicted on 3 charges: first-degree murder, criminal attempt first-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. This added a new layer to the case, suggesting that the killing of Young Dolph wasn't just carried out by street-level shooters, but was part of a broader conspiracy involving high-level planning and possibly more people. The murder of Young Dolph became a national headline not only for the tragic loss of an independent artist and community figure, but for the organized nature of the hit. This wasn't a moment of passion or random aggression. It was structured, it was planned, and it raised difficult questions about who else might have been involved and why. Chapter 6: Trial Twists, Testimonies, Witnesses, and a Missing Name. As the trial over Young Dolph's murder unfolds inside a Memphis courtroom, it's become clear that this case is anything but straightforward. Legal curves, witness hesitations, and quiet courtroom maneuvers have defined much of the proceedings so far. Several witnesses who were originally expected to testify have either altered their stories, refused to cooperate, or invoked their Fifth Amendment rights. In one instance, a key witness reportedly set to testify about communications between the accused was said to be placed under protective custody, according to courtroom observers. This revelation added to the growing mystery surrounding the trial's tone and direction. Prosecutors from Shelby County's District Attorney's Office have leaned heavily on digital forensics, including cell tower data, text messages, and phone records to link Hernandez Govan, Justin Johnson, aka Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith in the days leading up to Dolph's killing. Their goal is to prove not just participation, but premeditation and coordination.
The forensic expert testifying cell phone towers around Crosstown Concourse, where Johnson lived, the gas station where he picked up the stolen white Mercedes used in the murder, Makeda's Cookies, where Young Dolph was killed, and the apartment where he went after the shooting, all showed his phone made contact with the cell phone towers around there.
Yet for many watching, the most striking detail isn't what's being said in court, it's what isn't. One name has remained absent from formal court discussions: Yo Gotti. Despite years of tension between Gotti's camp and Dolph, played out in diss tracks, interviews, and street-level rumors, his name has not been directly mentioned in any official courtroom testimony or filings. No charges have been brought against him, no references have been made in the transcripts currently available to the public. To some fans, the silence clears his name, proof that Gotti has nothing to do with the crime, and that internet rumors have gone too far. To others, the absence feels calculated. Online commentary and YouTube breakdowns have suggested that the lack of mention could point to sealed evidence or names being withheld for legal reasons. Speculation increased after a pre-trial moment that caught the attention of local reporters. During one courtroom exchange, the prosecution requested a sudden sidebar. According to the media present, the discussion referenced sealed federal cooperation, though the exact nature of that sidebar remains confidential. The courtroom went quiet for several minutes. Some observers believe the moment hinted at information the public isn't yet privy to. Then came a sudden shift. During an earlier pre-trial hearing in 2023, a witness briefly mentioned Big Juke, Yo Gotti's older brother Anthony Mims, who one of the accused killers had alleged put a $100,000 hit on Dolph. While the context was limited and not elaborated on publicly, the reference triggered an immediate sidebar from both the judge and the prosecution. The exchange was cut short and never returned to the open court. Just months later, in January 2024, tragedy struck. Big Juke was fatally shot outside Perignon's restaurant in Memphis shortly after attending a funeral. Local authorities confirmed the killing and described the shooting as targeted. No suspects have been publicly named and police have not released a motive. The timing so close to the trial and following his name being uttered in court sparked intense speculation online. Was it coincidence, retaliation, something deeper? Social media lit up with many questions, especially on Reddit, Twitter, and YouTube, where users drew connections between the courtroom silence, the sealed records, and Juke's murder. While authorities have not confirmed any link between the trial and Juke's death, the sequence of events has fueled widespread public curiosity. Inside the courtroom, tensions have reportedly risen during specific lines of questioning. According to those in attendance, the judge has responded with caution whenever testimonies appear to suggest broader networks or deeper affiliations. So far, no formal evidence has been presented connecting anyone beyond the three indicted men, Govan, Johnson, and Smith, to the murder. But the existence of sealed federal documents has kept speculation alive that more could come. The defense continues to challenge the prosecution's narrative, particularly the claim that Govan masterminded the hit. Meanwhile, the public watches closely, hungry for resolution, but aware that the full truth may still be obscured behind redacted files and strategic courtroom decisions. As one observer inferred after a particularly tense session, sometimes the loudest part of a trial is the silence. This trial isn't over, and neither is the story. Chapter 7: The Streets Talk. Fans, bloggers, and the dangers of speculation. Outside the courtroom, a different trial is taking place in barbershops, on live streams, and across digital streets. Fans are piecing together theories, pulling up clips, connecting lyrics to real-life outcomes. Bloggers have become investigators. Some have even received cease and desist letters from attorneys linked to CMG. And still, the conversation won't stop. Was this label rivalry gone too far? Was Dolph's independence a threat to an industry structure? Or was it just local beef that spiraled? Whatever the answers, one fact remains: Young Dolph is gone. His family continues to seek justice, and the courtroom battles are only part of the bigger story. Yo Gotti's silence, Govan's cryptic words, and the street's own verdict have all collided. In Memphis, that silence is louder than ever.